First thing first, I want to welcome everybody back to another episode of the Real Man, Real Gamer podcast, hosted by the one and only Delta Gamer. Now, this is episode 2 of the podcast, and the first thing we're going to be talking slash discussing is Game of the Week, which is Only Up. Now, Only Up is a PC only game where the main goal of the game is to basically just climb a bunch of absurd obstacles going up, just up in the sky. I think you're somewhere in Brazil because the starting point is, if I'm not mistaken, is the favelas, and then after you just climb up part of the favelas, you're just onto like some plumbing, a train station, construction stuff, random numerous things out there. Now I done made it to the construction part of the area of the game. I'm probably won't be making it nowhere to the end because it is a game that doesn't have any starting point. So if you mess up, hopefully you fall and end up somewhere in the previous area where you climbed from. But if you don't land on any one of those areas, then you're just gonna be starting back to the bottom. So it's somewhat of an addicting game. But if I mess up, or if you mess up, most likely you just get over it, which I have got over it for the most part. But I will, continue to play it throughout the days of the week or whatever, because it's not a game that I put down permanently, like I'm completely done with it. But it is a game when I'm looking for a challenge or I might be bored. I'm definitely gonna go for it. But yeah, I see this game on YouTube, a lot of people playing it, and I was like, you know what, this game looks interesting. I want to see what I'd be able to do on here. And luckily enough, I picked it up, and I, for the most part, has been enjoying it. But like I said, when you mess up, you don't want to go. You sometimes want to keep going, see can you get back up there, but then it's just sometimes you're just over it. And yeah, I think I picked up the game. So it's crazy that the game is actually blowing up right now, and they literally got the game on sale for like $7. I think it normally goes for 10. So I picked it up for 7. Great purchase. I really enjoyed this one. I'm pretty sure it might be up there with my most played Steam game now, because I just recently got into the PC community or whatever. And yeah, I think that's got to be up there as my number one most played game right now, or right or next to it, because it's either that or Post Void, which that's another great game right there. But we're not gonna talk about that on this episode. Maybe on the next episode that'll be Game of the Week Post Void. But yeah, overall, game of the week for this week is Only Up. Y'all need to give it a try it out. Hopefully y'all like it. If y'all don't, just refund it. All right. So the next topic is Dead by Daylight movie. Now, in case y'all didn't know, I'm a huge fan of the Dead by Daylight IP. I really enjoy the game. I really enjoy the experience with the game. I've been playing it ever since, if I'm not mistaken, 2018, the summer of 2018, and I think that's around the time they gave us the game for free on PlayStation Plus. And I've been enjoying that game ever since. It's literally in my top 3 most played games on PlayStation Network. I got over 1,000 hours in the PS4 version, and if I'm not mistaken, and I got 1,000 hours in the PS5 version. Now, good amount of those hours is just sitting in the loading screen in the loading menu waiting for a game to start up. But both of those versions of the game, I literally got 1,000 hours in, and that means I really enjoy the game. And one of the things that I don't really like about the game, or I wouldn't even say the game, just the IP in general, is there's not really enough lore built up into the game. And I understand why there's not enough lore. The main base, this is not a story mode game, it's a single player narrative game, so you don't really need lore to make it a good game. You just need good gameplay, good game mechanics, and Dead by Daylight is a professional at that. So I can understand how the lore of the IP can just be lackluster and just not hit the mark where it need to hit the mark. And that's okay. I'm not blaming them for that. But if you want this to be a successful IP, which is it still possibly is going to be successful IP in the gaming space, but if you want it to be a successful IP, you're going to start trying to branch it out to movies, books, and whatever, and TV shows. And this is what they actually plan on doing. So apparently there's going to be a Dead by Daylight movie. Now we're not sure of the how they're gonna do the movies. When are they gonna be, like, how professional it's gonna be? Or is it gonna be direct to streaming slash DVD movie style? Or is this gonna be a movie that's actually gonna release in theaters and be like a real big professional thing, blockbuster extravaganza? We don't know yet. Now, Dead by Daylight, real quick, back to the IP thing, is they haven't. I think they made a dating simulator game, which I guess is just for the fun of it, and they also made one comic book. And I don't think that comic book haven't even fully released yet. It's of the Legion. They followed the Legion, which I believe is like one of the worst killers in DVD, one of the most lackluster in killers as well. I don't like going against her. She's annoying, and boring. So just I think she's just a terrible killer. But yeah, they just now started doing a comic book of the DVD, and one of the people they follow in there is the Legion. Now you would think they would do more interesting stuff with the killers and the characters or the survivors, but they're not. So this is a good thing. A motion picture, perfect, right? Well, I feel like when they do this motion picture, they're gonna do the most stereotypical thing of get these survivors in the woods at a campsite, and here's come a killer in that area, hunt them down. Boom, that's the movie, right? Granted, you can do that and still be a good, successful movie. But let me tell you why I do not want that as a fan. Now, I believe with the Dead by Daylight movie, if they're going to do this movie, they need to follow the top main killers. They need to give the main killers, which is the Wraith, the Trapper, the Huntress, even the Spirit, but you can give each one of them their own movies or whatever. You can see which one you want to pick out first, which one you think will do the best, get the best storytelling to get the best movie experience. Which I believe the Trapper would be able to be that perfect. I don't know. Maybe the Trapper wouldn't be, but I think the Trapper would definitely be the main killer I would want them to follow right away. Maybe even the Wraith, because dude, the Wraith is fucking terrifying. But yeah, I think they need to follow the killers, and when they introduce the survivors in the movies, I don't want them to follow any of the main. I don't want them to be replicas or direct derivative from the main survivors. I think they should be completely new survivors that we haven't heard about, that we don't know about. And if they do any type of survivor that we have been familiar with in the game, they gotta bring it to the survivors that are brand new or just doesn't have that much appearance or appealability in the game. Because hear me out, if you're gonna put the main characters in the DVD motion picture, like the Claudette, like the Dwight, like the Meg, like the Fing Men, I would want them not in a movie, but in their own TV show. Now, if you put these characters in their own TV show, that would benefit the characters, that would benefit the IP as well, and it would just benefit the fandom for the most part. Let me tell you why. You put these killers against the survivors, the main killers against the main survivors right away like a clash. I'm gonna feel cheated as a fan. I'm gonna feel cheated as a fan because, like I said before, the lore just isn't there to be having this big mashup like you're doing in the game already. I just don't want that to be a thing right now. So to celebrate or to cater towards my fandom of the IP, you put the main characters and the main killers that's in their movies, but put them against new survivors or unpopular survivors. And for the TV show, put the survivors, the main survivors, against a completely new killer or just a unpopular killer. And I'm not even talking about unpopular, just a whole nother killer, most likely for the most part. I mean, I can see them possibly going against the twins in their TV show. But yeah, I would definitely like to see this. Now, one of my main bases for them being in their own TV show or even a limited series or whatever is True Detective and Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated. Now, True Detective is a show where they follow detectives, I believe. Yeah, I know. I watched the first two seasons. I didn't watch the third season, but it's completely reboots season after season after season. The previews and the next season don't have nothing to do with each other. There's just a whole complete new story that's in a whole nother universe, right? So even if you don't want to continue the whole story from the previous season to the next, you can always just keep on rebooting it and just keep adding on to the lore overall in general, or you can continue it like multiple shows that does that perfectly, like um, Stranger Things or whatever. But one of the shows that I think that will follow a good unique pattern for inspiration is the Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated show that was on Cartoon Network. how they were leading up and keep on building up in the story episode after episode until it kept, and it also carried on to the next season. The next season, I think that would be a great way for them to do the Dead by Daylight TV show. You put the main survivors in there, and you can introduce more people in there, and you can have them make it to where somewhere like the similar to like the Scream TV show that was on MTV, but yeah, have the main survivors being like these detectives or whatever, these local detectives around their high school or around their college, and they gotta figure out what's going around or going on in their town, in their local town or city, and they gotta figure out how to get to the root of the problem. They gotta figure out how somebody's been kidnapped or whatever. I don't know, that people's coming up missing in their town or whatever, or people coming up dead. They got to figure out what's the pattern, what's going to lead. The police is not doing anything. They don't have the resources, something like that. I think you put them in a setting like that, you can really see the survivors shine, especially when it's going to lead up eventually to them meeting the killer. And when they meet the killer, it could possibly in the future be one of the main killers. But like I said, I don't want to see that happening right now, because in both mediums, which one of the survivors, the main survivors, are in the TV show, I want to really see them shine. And you're not gonna really see them shine if you also get a really great A tier killer. And the same thing, vice versa in the movies. I want to see the killer shine as well, but you're not gonna really see the killer shine if you put the main survivors in the movie. And if you do, it just won't happen. As a killer main and as a person, well, I'm not a killer main, but as a person who plays killer a lot and a person who plays survivor, pretty sure I balance them both off. Once I see the movie, I know I'm gonna be let down on each side. I don't think I'd be able to be catered to in both categories as a person who enjoy both playing as the survivor and the killer. So just separate them for right now, so where I can enjoy each category perfect before mashing them up together. And one day, after you did a good amount of TV shows or limited series of episodes, and did a good amount of movies, that's when one day you can come together and say, all right, let's do this mashup. And the only reason I'm doing this is because there's not enough lore in here in this universe or in this IP to where I feel comfortable for them doing this big mashup of putting the A tier killers against the A tier survivors in a movie or in a TV show. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on it. Hopefully, at the end of the day, the movies are good, or hopefully one day they do a TV show. And they haven't confirmed a TV show. I don't think they would do it. One of my things I fear though is if they do a TV show, would it be live action? Because with the movies, you know the movie's gonna be live action, but if they do a TV show, they gotta find like actors that can consistently play these characters, the main characters, and if their show's a hit, they're gonna keep going up on the price and the price and the price for their work and stuff. And it's just I would want it to be live action, but I can definitely see how they can make an animation. Now they can do the 2D animation style, or they can do the 3D animation style, how they do it in their intro scenes. But yeah, in my opinion, I would want both the movies and the TV shows to both be live action, but I can definitely see how if they probably want to cut costs or whatever. It might be cheaper to get live action, but I can definitely see them might possibly considering doing an animation style for the TV show or limited series if they ever did one. I'm trying to see, is there anything else I need to say? Oh yeah, one more thing. They need to carve a group of people out at their studio, and they need to start doing some comic books and graphic novels or something. Like this is ridiculous. Like doing some animated shorts on their YouTube. This universe need to get built up. I think this is a universe, and I'm not saying make it like the MCU or whatever, or make it like the DCU. No, I'm not saying that. But this IP need to get built up because there's a lot of potential there for in all honesty, like there's a lot of potential for this IP. Overall, though, as a fan, can't wait for what they show. That's my thoughts on that. All right, so the next topic is gaming refunds. Now, gaming refunds for the most part is a thing, but not fully a thing. The only person or the only company or the only group of people that I know who does proper gaming refunds is the Steam launcher. and I'm pretty sure Epic may have a good refund policy. I'm not sure about the other launchers out there, but I know Steam has the best gaming refund um policy on their platform than any other place out there. And some might even say that it's so good that studios that have these games that you can beat in under 2 hours and still get a refund for might be a way of them scheming the system, which it is. Now, in case you didn't know, Steam policy is if you play the game for under 2 hours or you haven't or you bought the game in under 2 weeks or less, or you got any type of issues that you're having with it, or like it can't launch. Like for instance, one of my issues for me returning one out of the two Steam games recently was when I opened the game, it would immediately like quit out. It wouldn't stay running on my system on my PC. So I had to refund that game and another game, which was Rainbow Six Siege on the PC. I just refunded that because it's gonna take up a whole bunch of gigabytes on my PC. And I'm like, I only got a half a terabyte in there. I'm not about to upgrade my memory yet. I don't need to upgrade it, so it's gonna take up like 100 plus gigabytes. I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna delete this. I'm not even gonna fully download it. I'm just gonna return it. And I know what you're saying. Like, didn't it tell you at the before you bought it how many gigabytes it was gonna take up? And I honestly remember it saying no. It did not tell me how many gigabytes it was gonna take up. It's weird because there is something I make sure I try to look out for, but sometimes they just don't tell you how many gigabytes a game is gonna take up for some reason. But they'll tell you a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, gaming refunds on Steam is pretty great. Now there is a way to scheme the system and abuse the system, which there is people out there who do, but for the most part, for a customer, it's great, it's brilliant, and they will work with you. Like they'll ask you, do you want to put this money back to your debit card or your PayPal, or do you want to keep this money in your Steam wallet or whatever? Like they give you options for that. So me personally, if I know I'm gonna be on Steam Launcher the whole time, like I'm not gonna have a problem with them. So I told them just put the money back in my Steam wallet and don't even put it back to my card. So that's what they did, and I'm okay with that. But they're the best at it. Now there's a bunch of other platforms that digitally sell games, and hell, there's even physical retailers that sell games, and their refund policies for majority of everybody else is terrible for the customer. Um, I know PlayStation got probably one of the worst ones. Now, granted, all these places will. It's not guaranteed that they wouldn't give you a refund, but it's very rare for some situations. Like with PlayStation, if there is some type of credit card fraud where you just didn't buy that game, somebody else bought it, and like they just somehow hacked into your account or whatever, or they stole your credit card and they used it for their account. Now, there's no way around it. That's fraud right there. But if you buy a game and you just didn't like it or you didn't mean to buy it, I don't know how the hell you don't mean it. You accidentally buy a game. Like that was one of them things where I can understand like your kid or somebody accidentally like getting on your system and buying stuff, but maybe put parental controls on it. Maybe have two accounts set up to where they couldn't hop on your account. Maybe also require a password before purchasing stuff on there. But my main problem is a lot of these games are terrible. And I know the one way to combat having terrible experiences with games is just don't buy them day one, wait for a review. And I completely agree with that because me personally, I haven't been burnt from a bad game, I would say, since the first Division came out. When the first Division came out, that was the only time. Maybe there was previous time, but I think that was the time where I woke up as a consumer slash gamer or whatever and realized I need to watch out for these scummy ass theatrics or these trailers that these companies do, and don't fall into the hype. Like, just keep my expectations low. Know what I'm gonna be looking at. Know what I might be purchasing. What I might be getting, and just realize this is a business. This is a company trying to get money out of the consumer. But never mind that. A bad game is a bad game. Nobody want to spend money on a completely trash ass game and not have any fun with it, right? You should be able to have a policy set up to where if you didn't like the game, played it for like an hour or two, or the game is broken, you should be able to refund it. hell, Sony or any other of the companies want to be somewhat stingy, be like, all right, well, how about this? We put the money towards your wallet so the money stays within the company or whatever. Well, you get to put it towards another game. I guess they can be okay, but sometimes, like, no. Like, I can see somebody pre ordering a game a month before and say, I'm going to pre order this game, I'm going to buy this game day one. And then out of nowhere, they realized that their emergency came up. They need all the money they can scrap up. They need that money refunded. Like, the game haven't came out yet. I haven't even played the game. Like, I haven't downloaded anything. Like, refund the money. You know, I don't know why it's so hard for them to, or for these companies to have a proper setup to where refunding should be a thing. It shouldn't be like tough luck, like too bad, tough luck, you're out of luck situation. It should be like, oh no, we understand what's going on. You didn't authorize it, or you're not happy with your purchase. This should be a thing, right? If you're not happy with your food or whatever at a restaurant, you be able to complain. You can get new food, which I wouldn't recommend. You should just ask for a refund if you got bad food already. If there's a product, like I had some cameras. I ordered some cameras from Walmart. Crazy situation. Order some cameras from Walmart, right? Get them in the mail. Arrived at my house. Basically, everything's done. Setting them up. I go to plug them in, and the outlet cord is for European countries. I swear to God, I was so confused and flabbergasted, and I was like, "Why is this outlet cord so weird?" And kind of find out the fucker is made for European outlets, which is something that I did not fucking see nowhere stating that this is only working for European outlet cords or whatever. But I was able to take it back into Walmart and refund it. Got my money back. I got like $200 back and called it a day. So yeah, refunding should be a thing. You know, if you're not happy with your product, you should have a choice to get a refund. Now, there is, if you have used your debit card or your PayPal or whatever, and there's somehow there and you're not happy with something, and you feel like the company that you're like Sony or Nintendo is not doing you good, you can go to your card company and dispute the charge and be like, nope, I'm not agreeing to this one, and tell them the issue, and they'll fight for that and most likely get your money back. Now granted, if you do go this route, I don't know about Nintendo, but Sony, for the most part, would ban your fucking account because that's actually against some type of terms and policy. Somewhere in the terms and condition, there is something in there in that legal writing to where they're illegally allowed to do that, to fuck your account up, all because you went over their heads to your card company and got your money back that they owed you. And yeah, you shouldn't have to do all that, honestly. I know Nintendo policy isn't I'm not fully sure on Nintendo policy. I mean, I'm not fully sure on Xbox policy. I heard Xbox is the second best when it comes to like all the platforms combined. Like Xbox is pretty okay with getting refunds. If there is a real issue there, they would definitely work with you more than like Nintendo and Sony or PlayStation or whatever. With Nintendo, you most likely gonna be out of luck as well. PlayStation, you most likely going to be out of luck. But hey, you never know. You got to fight for what's right. If something ain't right, something was misled to you and was mismarketed towards you, you have a right to go against it. Like, no, they kind of schemed you out of your money. They scammed you out of your money, basically. And like, even though these are legit companies, legit triple, billion dollar companies, at the end of the day, they're here to make money. So they scam you, you can definitely fight it. It's just at what risk though? Like the Cyberpunk situation, it was crazy though with the Cyberpunk situation with PlayStation and Xbox. Like it came out so bad where even the people at the studio was like, yeah, okay, it came out bad. Y'all not happy with it. Just go refund it. It was so funny because PlayStation, Xbox was like, okay, like fuck it, it is what it is. Okay, whatever. And I think they kept it on Xbox. They kept Cyberpunk on Xbox. But PlayStation was so fucking mad that they had to like go ahead, like they didn't want to be like I guess have negative press about it. So like, you know what? We're gonna issue the refund. We're gonna give y'all refunds. We're gonna give y'all money back. But then they got so upset that they just took the game off the fucking PlayStation Store for like how many months? I think it was no more than 6 months that they took that game off the PlayStation Store and they put it back on there. And I was like, wait, so you took the game off the PlayStation Store for like 6 months? Why didn't you not even why did you even allow the game to be on the platform? Now I know everybody didn't have issues with Cyberpunk, but it had to be enough issues to where you literally say, you know what, we're not gonna have this on your platform. We're not gonna have this on our platform right now. Like y'all was okay with selling it at first, knowing the state it is, because they gotta test, they gotta do quality and assurance and test these games out before they can fully allow them on their be sold on a platform. So, but yeah, it's just funny and weird that how these gaming refunds is just like pretty tough to do. So, being that they're pretty tough to do, I wouldn't recommend y'all buying these games day one. It's like honestly, to counter all this bullshit, don't buy games day one. And if you do buy games day one, just know what you're getting, what you're gonna be buying, what you're gonna be playing. Because 9 times out of 10, if it's a fucked up experience, you're done. Like I know in physical retail, I seen this one video where this guy, I think it was the latest Fallout game. I believe that was Fallout 76. He took it back to GameStop like, dude, this fucking game is trash. Like this is bullshit. And then the GameStop dude was like, there's nothing I can do about it. The game already been open. We can't refund you the money. The best thing we can do is give you like in-store credit. And I think the in-store credit, it was the day after, I think it was like a day or two after Fallout 76 came out. And he was like, the best we can give you is like store credit. And at the most, that would be like 20 some dollars. 30 at the most, maybe even 30. I doubt even 30, but like probably like $20. And the dude's just fucking freaked out, started wrecking shit in that fucking store and like throwing shit everywhere. And I was like, that was immature, but damn man, this dude just fucking been robbed by this company base. He basically just been robbed by two companies, GameStop and fucking Bethesda at the time. And he got the game. He want the shit. He wanted some fucking money back, bro. It's like I don't blame him for interaction, but I do say that it is kind of fucked up though, because the employee is the one who got to receive all that negative slack, not the company. The company don't care. GameStop don't care, Bethesda don't care. But yeah, it's crazy because even in physical retail stores, maybe the Walmarts, maybe the Best Buy, but I know GameStop. I don't think they're gonna give you a refund on any. I think they did do it for Cyberpunk though. I know Best Buy did it. Best Buy actually gave everybody, if you wanted a refund for Cyberpunk from Best Buy, they gave you like a window specific like time when like no more than a month to return it, and they give you your money back. I think GameStop probably did the same thing. Walmart I guess as well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure though, like when you open the game, because they can't, once you open the game, you're gonna know it's brand new. You're gonna know it's being used. Excuse me. You're gonna know it's being open, and they can rewrap it if they wanted to, but they would be very misleading trying to pass it off as brand new when somebody it's not brand new. Maybe discover it as an open box. I mean, at the end of the day, though, the company will be losing out on money if they refund the game for full price, but they got to put the game back out there for like $5 off or $10 off, saying that it is open goods. I don't know. Something need to be there though for the gaming refund policy. Like it should be something out there. Maybe one day there's something that would be passed into like the legislative courts out there to help out with consumers or gamers or whatever. But overall, I don't think it will. So, like I said, just be warranted on what you buy, and you probably will avoid all this for the most part. I know I have. Like I don't think that have I. I'm trying to think recently. I know, like I said, the division, but I'm trying to think of recently where I bought a game and I was kind of disappointed in it. Oh, Dying Light 2. Even though I enjoyed Dying Light 2, I wouldn't put it in there the same ballpark as the division. It's just, I kind of have a bad experience with Dying Light 2 at lunch. It wasn't, it wasn't like I thought it should have been. So let's talk about this Microsoft slash Activision deal real quick. Now, me personally, I could care less about this deal. Like, I got an Xbox and I used Xbox Launcher as well on my PC, but I'm not really into the Xbox community like that. And when it comes to Activision stuff, mainly their games, of course, I'm not really a Activision game player. Like, I don't play really none of Activision games. But one of the things that I've seen from Activision that I do enjoy for the most part is the Tony Hawk games. When I tell you, one of the main things that I do see, one of the main positive things, or just things that interest me personally as a gamer or as a consumer, if the deal goes through, one of the things that I can see that can benefit me is, first thing is, we can possibly get new Tony Hawk games. New Tony Hawk games. Because as even though Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remaster came out and did fucking great, apparently it wasn't good enough for Activision. So, because they literally closed the studio down, just put them towards the Blizzard team. And it was a solid game. Like, I was like, how can you come out with a good ass game like Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remaster and still be like, fuck it, put them on the Blizzard team or put them towards the Call of Duty teams. That's where we need talent at. Like, so if this deal goes through, that would be a positive thing in my eyes. Hopefully, now Phil Spencer and Xbox haven't confirmed that, but that's the only thing I would be excited for this deal to go through. Anything else, I could care less. Like, I'm not a fan of Call of Duty no more. I don't even play Call of Duty religiously no more. The only time when I do play Call of Duty is Modern Warfare Remastered, because that's a god tier game right there. But yeah, we can get possibly new Tony Hawk games. Also we can possibly get new remasters slash remakes. Like, come on, man, who wouldn't want a new Tony Hawk Underground remaster 1 and 2? You know, or who just wouldn't want a new Tony Hawk game in general? Like, that would fucking be awesome, right? Also, we can possibly see Xbox bringing out a lot of the Tony Hawk games, or just a lot of the Activision games in general, backwards compatible. Like, that's another thing I see going great for this deal, is for them to make these games, a lot of the Activision games. I know they won't be able to make all of them, but a lot of these games, they can definitely do a huge backwards compatibility initiative at the studio. And that alone, fucking awesome. That alone is fucking great. They already got a lot of Call of Duty games as well on backwards compatible for the Xbox. But yeah, but the main games I'd be interested for backwards compatible would be the Tony Hawk games, and hopefully new Tony Hawk remasters and stuff like that, or remakes, and hell, just new Tony Hawk games in general. Like, let's add some new games to the series. Let's see what they can come up completely like fresh out the box type stuff. But yeah, overall, that's the only thing I would be interested in. All right, so let's go to the next topic: free multiplayer. I don't know about y'all, but it doesn't sit right in my spirit to still pay for multiplayer. It just doesn't sit right, and I'm honestly thinking about doing this, right. I'm honestly thinking about, if I do play console, just all be like single player narrative games, or hell, I might just say screw it and just try to hopefully fully cross over from console to PC. Cause paying for multiplayer has to be one of the shittiest things ever invented in this world. Like, honestly, there's got to be a couple shitty things. There's STDs, there's poverty, there's hunger, and I think there's fucking crime, murder, or whatever. But up there with those things is also paying for fucking multiplayer, right? Am I right or wrong on that? I just haven't, like, I come from the PS3 days, where the only thing that came close for you paying for multiplayer was like these online passcodes that was in random ass games, and all of the games that didn't include that, like the Call of Duty games didn't include online passcodes. But like PlayStation All Star Battle, I know like the first party Sony games, I believe majority of them did the online passcode. I know God of War Ascension did it. I know Twisted Metal 2012 did it. I know PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale did it, where you would pay $10 for an online passcode. I think Madden as well did it also. Yeah, I know maybe a good amount of EA games probably did it as well. Maybe even I can't think of any more. But there's definitely more games out there. But at least you only have to pay like $10 for it if you brought the game pre-owned. If you brought the game brand new before the code expired, that's another thing you don't know. Like, sometimes the code will expire in a couple of months. At the most, it'd be like a couple of years, or it give you to like $20.99 to redeem the code. But yeah, the closest thing to paying for multiplayer for some games were on the PS3 was just online passcodes. And if you brought the game pre-owned, so let's just say if you brought um let's see, PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale pre-owned, and you need the passcode, right? Or you brought fuck it, I don't know, God of War Ascension pre-owned, and you brought it for like $10 or $20, and you wanted to go online and play the multiplayer stuff. All you had to do was pay for $10, pay $10 for the code, and it lets you give you access to it. But yeah, that was one of the ways they wanted to circumvent slash prevent uh people from trading their games back in the day. It didn't cost money for them servers. Like, I don't think it cost money for them servers. I just honestly thought that was a way for them to try to stop people or still get a some type of cut or profit from people buying these pre-owned games from other people. And yeah, but overall, PS3 multiplayer wise, me personally, I know a lot of people had a problem with PS3 multiplayer. I know they did get hacked for like a whole month where the whole service was down. Excuse me, they got hacked, but the service was down for like a whole month. I know people was pissed off about that. I know people criticized PlayStation 3 multiplayer, but me personal as a person who played that fucking multiplayer on their system during those times, I didn't have a fucking issue with it. Like, I remember when I found out about 360 having you literally legitly have to pay for their multiplayer like with a subscription. That was so foreign to me where I'm like, it completely turned me off from even trying to acquire that system and treat it like as a secondary system. I'm like, I might as well just stay on PS3. Am I right or wrong on that? And that's what I did. But unfortunately, somewhere down the line, there was people willing you to pay for multiplayer on 360 to where it was so successful that for them that PlayStation thought they should adapt the same type of logic with the PlayStation 4. And when they did that, guess what? Nintendo followed right along with them when they came out with the Switch. Because it's weird with the Wii U that you did not have to pay for multiplayer on the Wii U. I don't even think there was online passcodes on the Wii U. Let me know if I'm right. Also with the Wii, I know we had multiplayer as well, so I don't know if they had online passcodes on Nintendo system, but since the Switch was popular though, since the Switch was popular, they said, "Fuck it, we're gonna charge for multiplayer as well." This is just ridiculous. Now, I'm not sure, but this is a thing. I know you can run into way more people hacking and doing all type of mod stuff on PC than you can on console games. But if that is a thing where the money you're paying for these online services, you are helping people, helping the companies put money towards places where they can prevent people from hacking the games or whatever, or doing cheats and exploits. And that is a thing that I can see it, but they don't. I'm not sure about. Well, Xbox do give an option, but I don't think they do a whole year option. But PlayStation, if they just gave you an option for, look, if you wanna pay multiplayer, pay for play multiplayer. We got PS Plus. If you only just want that as part of your PS Plus membership, let's make it $30 for a whole year or whatever. No, it's not like that. It's so weird because no, that's not even a thing, right? Like, you gotta pay this a certain amount of price, and they give you these little perks like the games new games every month, or like save data for the cloud, backup saves for the cloud. Like, they give you these little perks, but who in their fucking right mind? Like, I would honestly believe 90% of people who's paying for PS Plus is paying for it because of the fucking multiplayer. And granted, I do got the premium tier of PS Plus. I got the premium tier, but let's be honest, I got it for the extra perks. But if I did not have to pay for multiplayer, or if I can only just literally pay for multiplayer by itself, I would not be nowhere near that tier. I would be nowhere near that tier, honestly. Like, I don't know. Paying for multiplayer sucks because I just don't see the benefit of it. If there is a benefit of it, I would like to be more informed in that. Like, I would like to be more informed in that of the background stuff that's taking place. But I doubt it. I guarantee they can run these online servers. And if I'm not mistaken, they're not even hosting these servers. Like, it's the company, it's third party companies. So that's hosting like the third party games now. If they're first party games, then I guess they are paying for the servers. But Yeah, I wonder is there any of that money even going to these studios out there? I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. But yeah, on PC, multiplayer is free. And like, you ask yourself, like, how do they keep running these games on PC for free if it costs a lot of money for these servers? That is a good question because it probably doesn't cost anything, and it's just bullshit. And it's just another way to scam money. And I was just, bro, oh my god, it's just very unfortunate. It's just very unfortunate that that became a thing in the 360 era where it should charge you for multiplayer. Like, I want, bro, oh my god, and like people shit on the PS3 and call it a bad system. Say the 360 was better, dude. All that money you pay for PlayStation Plus, excuse me, all that money you pay for Xbox Live Gold and your 360 day one compared to like somebody buying a fucking PS3, your system costs way more than a fucking PS3 did. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Overall, I would say that just sum up this topic, fuck paying for multiplayer, and hopefully one day we'll be able to cross over to PC. And just if I want to play any multiplayer game, I'll just play it on a PC and not play it on any console. Which is also weird because there's free to play games out there, and there's no fucking free to play game I'll fucking enjoy. Not a single one. Not a single one. I hate free to play games. All of them are terrible. But yeah, that's the end of that topic. All right, so the last topic on the docket is physical media. What can I say? What can I say? Physical media, whether it be for movies, books, and especially video games, is something that's needed. Now, granted, when it comes to movies, TV shows, music, hell, or even books, you can pirate those things and still have those things preserved properly to where you don't gotta subscribe to these memberships. You don't gotta subscribe to this. You still got some type of respect. These companies ever get out of line, at least they know. All right, here, fuck it. These guys can always go back to pirating like extremely heavy, or we can make sure these are lucrative deals. These are lucrative prices, and the content and the quality is good. Like me personally, I don't pirate stuff anymore. Like for music wise, I definitely don't pirate music no more because everything's just on YouTube music wise, and I use for all my music stuff. I use YouTube, right? And I'm glad that a lot of artists started putting their stuff on YouTube under their profile immediately day one. Because at first there was a time where they just put it towards DSPs and also on the streaming platforms. Like someone wouldn't put their stuff on YouTube right away, but a lot of artists do now, which is pretty cool. Like I don't get it. Like there's no need for me to still be out there trying to pirate music at all. Like not a single reason. Now there is some type of lockdown or crackdown or that happened somewhere on the internet eventually years after this podcast that took place, and there's some issue where I can't find the music I want to find on YouTube no more. I was like, fuck it then. Let's pirate it unless there's gonna be another legit way to get in that music. If it's not, then it's gonna be pirating season. But luckily I don't have to do that. I get to put my money or my time and my watch hours towards, artists that I like or just random songs I can find easily, right? Same thing with movies and TV shows. Like a lot of these places out here, I'm not even though there is a huge streaming war going on, I don't pirate movies and TV shows no more. One of the main reasons why I don't do that is it's too much. Like as a person who got some type of financial stability, pirating movies and TV shows like it's just not worth it. Like I can understand seeing somebody who don't have access to again like these platforms or they just don't have the money or whatever. I can see it. The only option is to pirate. Okay, cool. But like as a person who don't have to go through that no more, I don't feel like sitting on a pirated movie site consistently closing if I want to watch this movie, 10 pop-up ads gotta pop up and I gotta close these windows out for it to get it to start. And when I get it to start, I gotta deal with the possibility, is this shit gonna buffer the whole time and load wait, is it gonna buffer and then load the movie or the TV show for 30 seconds and buffer again, or is it gonna play completely throughout? Like I don't feel like dealing with that. Like simple, here's $10. Like here's $10 to Peacock. I subscribe to you for a month. Hell, if I don't want to do, if I want to do more than a month, I do the whole year. Since I'm somewhat getting back into WWE, I just subscribe to it for a whole year. Then for $100, I don't mind doing that. The thing is with me is I don't have like the most I done have streaming platforms. I think at the most I done had was 3 at the same time. I think I had Hulu, HBO Max. You know, those are the only two that I was paying for because I got Tubi as well, and I guess YouTube kind of counts as streaming. So, but 3 at the most: HBO Max, Hulu, Tubi, whatever. Or I switch it out; it'd be Hulu and Netflix, or it'd be Hulu, Netflix and HBO Max or whatever, or it can be Peacock and Hulu. Like I get 2 streaming services at the most for that, like for a month or so, for a couple of months, and I switch it off just depending on what type of content is being flowed around on a consistent basis for these platforms, for the most part. But yeah, a lot of people saying, "Oh, all these streaming platforms, I'm gonna go back to pirating." I'm like, well, let's be honest. Like, you're not watching unless you're some type of reviewer, a person who got a lot of time. There's no fucking way you're watching all of these platforms on a consistent basis and you're not missing anything. Like, that's just not possible. If you just don't want to pay for all those platforms at one time, you can easily just subscribe to like a couple of them each month. Or just subscribe to one each month and call it a day and move on to a new one the next month. Like, it's not that hard. Like, it's not that hard. Like, I don't know why you got everybody need a bunch of streaming platforms at once. I'm guarantee you, if you're really a fucking busy adult, you're not gonna be watching all those streaming platforms at once. But then again, you might want some type of versatility every other day or every other week. You can't wait a month. I don't know. But yeah, back to the main topic. I don't have to worry about streaming though or TV shows and movies being out of my reach because I know these companies are gonna do everything in their power to make sure these platforms gonna know that they can't shit on the customer because as soon as they start to shit on the customer or whatever, they're able to pirate their stuff. There's some type of still respect. Like, look, we're doing this out of kindness of the content, but we can still go back to pirating and being a huge thing. We can still do that. So I don't gotta worry about streaming being an issue, like for movies, TV shows, hell, even books. I don't gotta worry about books being a thing. You can easily find pirated books out there or pirated websites where they post the books and stuff like that, and the manga or whatever. You don't gotta worry about that, right? But with games, you do. You do gotta worry about that. Because with games, mainly newer games, you're not pirating any newer games on consoles. No way. You're not. Maybe with PC, there's ways to do it. You can whoever cracked the code or whatever, or crack the key, you can do it. But that's with PC though. And it's not guaranteed 100% of the time, right? But one day these people are gonna make it streaming only for games. They're gonna try to push that one day in this world. And when they do that, if they're able to do that successfully, where everybody's just come together and like as a gaming publisher or whatever, everybody come together like, let's do it. Let's come together, band together. As a gamer, you're gonna be out of luck. Now there might be some studios out there be like, fuck it, we still gonna do like the traditional method or producing games and at least have digital downloads be a thing. Like, I'm not mad at being a digital download only future. I can possibly see eventually it being a digital download only future, even though I don't want that. Like, I believe in physical media. Like, I believe in having somewhat of an asset. You brought something, you get to have somewhat of an asset. You get to enjoy it. You get to have all the data on the disk. You don't got to be connected to the internet 24/7. You can sell it if you want to. Like, the box art is fucking cool. Like, I'm a person who enjoy the box art on the games. Like, I enjoy looking at the back of the game, open the case up, putting the disc in, also playing the game, beating it, putting it on my shelf. Like, I enjoy physical media as a concept because I guess I'm more of an old school gamer or a traditional gamer, but I enjoy physical media and I think it should be a thing. But it's kind of hard for it to be a thing when a lot of these games out here are not even including all the data on the disc and it's just like a couple of megabytes or a couple of gigabytes. Like, that is so fucked up, right? If you don't want to include all the data on the disc and you know damn well the game needed 90% of the game you need to download, why even make the disc? Why even make a digital download code anyway? Just sell the game digital only. Like, I would applaud you if you did that because honestly, you're just wasting a lot of time in an environment. You're just wasting the environment resources. Like, a lot of that stuff a lot of those materials could have been used for something helpful or useful. Instead of like a fucking coaster. Because when the servers go off, how do you supposed to get the game one day when the servers go off? Like, you don't. That's the thing. They know that too, and they want that. Like, you're telling me, like, it's not like they print these games out as well the day they start. It's not like they print the games out the day when they start making the game. They literally print the game off like 2 at the most 3 months before the game come out, and they just had them in a warehouse, and they eventually just ship them out like a couple of weeks before the game come out to all the retailers and stuff like that, and the reviewers. So if they do that, why in the hell is like 1 gigabyte of the game on the disc, or like a barely any percentage is on the disc? Like, why is that? That is so dumb. Like it's just, and the thing is, I already got the answer. They want a false scarcity. They want false scarcity slash. They want you to stay in their ecosystem. There's a developer I know who literally states, "Yeah, I don't like pre-owned because it takes money out my pocket." And like, yes, it takes money out of your pocket, but dude, I don't know. Like, it's not illegal. But my God, man, you're that greedy. Like, at that point, like, I don't even want to buy your game. Like, even if I had the money, like, even if I bought it if I could buy a brand new, I wouldn't even want to buy a brand new if your take is like that. Like, you might well be one of those developers that literally say, don't play my game on stream because it takes money away from me. Like, it should be illegal. That's like copyright infringement right there. Like, you're no better than people like that, in my opinion. But yeah, like, another example I can bring up is for the games is Jedi Survivor. Like, that game only had like 40 gigabytes on the disc, and in total the game is 150 some gigabytes. So like 40 gigabytes out of 150 some gigabytes. Like, this is like honestly one of the first time ever I done bought a triple. I think this might be, yeah, this is the first time I bought a AAA game on a $70 price. Hell, even the $60 price in a long time I haven't brought it. I haven't brought a $60 full price game on digital in a long ass time. I think the last time I probably did that was like was Black Ops 3 on the PS4. But yeah, I literally had to just say fuck it. What's the point of even buying Jedi Survivor physically? I went on and just brought it digitally, because if the servers go off, you can't play the game. If I'm not connected to the internet, I can't play this game if I want to replay it or re-download it, which is fucking dumb. It sucks, but hopefully one day they come out with a reprinted version of the game, and like it's like the final version of the game where all the data is on the disc. I doubt it though, but unfortunately, like, I'm like, yeah, if your main goal was make sure people buy this game digitally instead of physically, you succeeded with that, EA. Like, you honestly succeeded with that, and that's one of my main issues with that game. But good thing is, every studio is not like that. We still got companies out there like the Limited Run, still making sure all the data get put on these discs, and they get to use them. We get to use them without the servers and stuff like that. Also, the new Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 16, a AAA game of that stature or that magnitude. Now, granted, day one patch eventually did come to that game. It wasn't one their day one, but they actually bragged about how there's not going to be a day one patch. We don't need a day one patch for this game. This game is already done and packed up. But unfortunately, it wasn't even a big update patch. But I think a couple of weeks out there, they did send a patch just to fix a couple of issues going on, like motion blur and stuff like that. Not a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. But that game, for the most part, with the disc, is playable. It's honestly playable without any connection to the internet. You can just pop it in and call it a day. So I will, even though I'm not a fan of that, I played the demo. I'm not a fan of the Final Fantasy series. I might be the only person who might not be a fan of that series. It's just not for me. But I'm still more inclined to go pick that game up, just off the simple fact that it literally got all the data on the disc. And I think that's pretty fucking badass and bold and brave for them to do. Then again, they are from Japan. They already got Japan studios, so they don't got American greed over there, like how a lot of these American companies do, like EA and like Activision and stuff like that. But yeah, fortunately, that is a good thing. But overall, I will say, just overall though, in my opinions, is physical media needs to be a thing in the future, and I believe in physical media. I believe in a digital medium, and I also believe in streaming. Like, I believe all three mediums can live in peace and harmony. I don't think one of them needs to be extinct like the fucking Air Nation. Like, I don't think we need to have, like, somewhere in the future, 20 years from now, there's like physical games are a thing, but they're kind of like these floppy disks, and you put them into this like weird emulator type machine. I don't want that to be an issue. No, I don't want that to be a thing. I don't want that to be a thing where 20 years from now, no, you can still find physical media, but you got to get this weird emulator device, and you got to put them in like these floppy disks. You got to put these floppy disk like machine devices in these weird ass emulators, and you basically got a physical media like that. No, I don't want that to be a thing. I think we should have them on a disc. We should have them on disc or cartridges and have them really solid. I know. Ooh, Nintendo for the most part does physical media pretty good. Now there is a couple of third party studios that fucking crap out on the physical media. Like, it would have been awesome the Grand Theft Auto trilogy games would have been all on the cartridge. I know the Resident Evil games could have all been on the cartridge. They wasn't. It's like one on the cartridge and the other two are digital downloads. Like, bro, just do that one solid where all the fucking games is on the cartridge, and they can't fit on the cartridge. Just fucking put 2 cartridges in there or whatever. I don't know. Like, I heard that the Batman trilogy for the Switch is going to be like one game is going to be on the cartridge, and you got to download the other 2. But overall, Nintendo Switch might be up there, but it's between the Switch and the PS4, because I know on the Xbox One, or excuse me, on the Xbox systems, if I'm not mistaken, I think you still got to be slightly connected to the internet. Even if the data is on the disc, you still got to be connected to the internet on some situations, if I'm not mistaken, to verify the license. But yeah, overall, I believe physical media just need to stay. Like, it really needs to stay, and hopefully it does stay for the longevity part. Hopefully we have physical media in the next console generation, console generation after. But unfortunately, I don't think so. I just think a lot of people just overall just not caring about it no more, and they're gonna feel the pain when they realize they kind of didn't appreciate physical media when these companies are gonna fucking put these barriers up, and they're gonna realize that they forced themselves in an ecosystem where they don't have any freedom. But it's the gaming community, it's the gaming space. A lot of bullshit gets away with this space in this space, all because people don't care. All right, so this has been the Real Man Real Gamer podcast, episode 2. I think we talked about everything here today. We got some more topics to discuss on the next episode, so check out that in the future. Overall, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Alright, so real quick right here, here's the rest of the gameplay for this Rainbow Six match that I thought was pretty good. I would have put the whole video to its entirety by itself, but it's just a lot of noise going on to where my teammates are just consistently like just jabbering, talking about nonsense, barely even speaking any English. So I just decided to go ahead and put it a part of the podcast video, and as well as just mute majority of the whole thing. I'm about to unmute it right here. It was already unmuted, but here's the rest of the gameplay. Yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy. Thanks again.
Preconceito. No, preconceito no.
Yeah, so my big too.
I live in a mansion. I'm rich.
The only mansion you be living is in my dude, nigga.
I'm a fucking rich. Okay, I have much money. Muito dinheiro, mucho.
Yeah, more money you can speak to me right now. I'm playing. You can, yeah, you learn the language. Like me, yo soy español mal parido, entonces que te lo cinco.
Porra! Believe me.
Oh, my bad.
Believe me.
No, sorry. Yes, from my wee beach.
Beach my eggs, meu filho, tô viajando.
I'm not being really beachy with you, beachy.
Ei, aberto. Sei.
What?
Tá viajando.
That means that I'm gay, fuck off, nigga.
No, fuck you, Alberto, porra.
Yeah, fuck you too.
operator standing.
The bomb. No,
Nah, he's
planting
joining
low.
the coupon.
Ping.
Nah, stop, crazy. He's just aiming the door. Planting. No, stop raping. No, don't push. Crazy, stop. Crazy, give me the camera back. Planting, they're hard fringing him, bro. Planting, bro, he can have a shit. He fought, he's in the first floor.
Protect the bombs and disable the diffuser.
Oh my god, fucking crazy was hard fringing, bro. Be careful. Other side. Nice.
Good, manito. My God, you're so good.
Nigga, please shut up.
Alberto, calm me down, Alberto, calm me down.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected. Located a bomb. Protect it.
What the hell y'all doing? Y'all didn't bring Cade?
10 seconds. Stop worrying about grenades now. 5 seconds left. Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
Damn. They have finca. Don't push, Goth. Be careful. And you in garage, be careful. Yeah, we're on the reinforcement part. Yeah. Oh my god, they're both... One in garage. I was telling you, bro, he was on top. Castle, Jag... Yeah, we full. On your left, Castle. There's no one in construction, Castle. He was low as fuck. Go for Osa. Reviving him? Never mind, I was down. My boy.
15 seconds left.
Nice.
told you.
Use your drone to locate a bomb.
He's lagging.
Your drone has found a bomb.
Go Thatcher, go Thermite for you can throw smokes and plant. Oh, never mind, we have Monty.
Insertion in 10 seconds.
Yeah, Monty, go Monty. Yeah, nice.
Calm me down.
Sorry.
You found
That's
a bomb.
good.
Make your way to
Yeah,
a
caso. Okay, I'm speaking on key, what fucking is going on? Okay, let's go over there.
Pump it here.
Reloading. Cover me.
Pump it here. Here. Pingy.
Over here!
Frag out.
Down! Y'all should have come over here with me. No. Ace.
You must recover the diffuser. The diffuser has been secured. Op 4 last operator standing. Diffuser is online and active.
Down!
Op 4 eliminated.
Alright. Bye.
Hey, y'all was trying to quit the match, man.
Good.
Y'all was trying to abandon the match.
Yeah. Look in the Miagis.